Today we're reading a little fairy
tale by Chad Otis.
Yeah, and he did the illustration and also the writing.
Cool.
And
A little fairy tale.
The little fairy tale that we're reading about is a fairy, and we're on a ferry too.
We're on a ferry to Friday Harbor. Once, not so long ago, in a place with more water than land.
We're surrounded by water.
We are. It looks so beautiful. Mount Baker's over there.
There is some land.
There was a little fairy who took people to visit a little island.
The fairy's a girl.
Every day, people whooped and hooted and over Tugboat, who was rough and fearless. They cheered for a speedboat who thundered by in a blur. And they marveled at Sailboat, who was carefree and graceful. Little Fairy watched the watchers and wished that she was fearless or thundery or graceful. She knew she was patient and quiet and careful and always on time, even when she was sleepy or grumpy or didn't feel like it. But no one hooted or cheered or marveled at that.
Birds are actually pretty slow.
She had an idea.
What was your idea?
And for the first time ever,
What?
Little Fairy veered off course. She veered off course
She went off.
and raced as fast and loud as she could after Speedboat. But Speedboat zipped circles around her. Little Fairy, you're too slow and quiet. You weren't made for this. So she tried being carefree and graceful like Sailboat. Little Fairy, you are much too careful. You weren't made for this. But Little Fairy was determined, so she made up her mind to be rough and fearless like the Tugboat. Well, she'd be rough and fearless just as soon as this boat passed. Barg. And this one. Boop. And this one. Doot, doot. Little Fairy fearlessly huffed a rough huff to catch up, but Tugboat was far off in the distance. Little Fairy, you waited too long, Tugboat tooted. You certainly were not made for this.
Get out of this. You can't make an appearance.
They're
this
right, though.
soon.
Little Fairy. They're right, thought Little Fairy, as she sadly turned back around.
That's mean.
I just wasn't made to be any of those things.
Yeah, we're ignoring Hetfield.
She was nearly back at the dock when she heard. What do you think she heard?
I don't know. Owls.
It was Tugboat. Oh no! Is that smoke?
What's
The
that?
animals on the island need our help. The animals. Oh no, look, all the people are like, oh my. Oh no.
I wonder if the ferry's gonna save them, because the ferry is actually bigger than any boat in the world.
Speedboat got there first, roaring in like a flash. But he startled the animals. Tugboat hurried in next, but that only frightened the animals more. Then Sailboat curved up to shore, but she didn't watch out for the rocks and scraped her hull. Little Fairy paced back and forth. Back and forth. I want to help, she fretted. I'm not fast or fearless or tough or graceful.
But
But I have to try.
You're Lord. What does the fairy look like? Oh, the fairy's a she.
The fairy's a girl. She's a helpful lady.
What does she look like?
Little Fairy was quiet as she neared the shore. And she was slow and careful as she lowered her ramp.
Yeah.
And she was patient as she waited for the animals to climb on. Soon little Ferry was filled up, but more animals kept coming and she started to tip. Oh no, I'm too small! She sputtered.
Aren't fairies meant to be a lot bigger than that?
Then she heard a tiny voice. You can do it, little Ferry. You were made for this. And all of a sudden, little Ferry didn't feel quite so little anymore.
She grew bigger.
Now it's a big fairy.
She floated higher, straightened up until somehow every last animal is on board. Like Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark?
Kinda.
Well-
Sounds similar. She's saving the animals from the island though.
Yeah.
Then
Wait, what was the
she
trouble?
slowly and carefully carried everyone to safety.
Wait.
Sure.
Forever after, little Ferry brought people back and forth to the little island, happy knowing that what she was best at
Was saving.
was
Helping.
being exactly who she was.
Aww.
A ferry boat.
Wait, I think we learned a moral from this story. To be who you want to be and
A
don't
little
be...
fairy tale.
Hey guys, here's something you guys want to know. This is actually have a moral to this story. So... this has a moral to this story. And guess what?
Every ferry boat ride is the best. We are so
I'll
blessed.
get Hudson in this.
Guys, I'm going to tell the moral of the story.
He has putty on his
Moral of the story.
The moral of the story is to be who you want to be.
Be who you are.
Yeah, be who you are, but don't be who you want to be.
Right. Well,
Be who you
be who you are.
Yeah, be who
Be
you
yourself.
are. Yeah, be yourself.
Come to this boat and
Oh.
these blueberries.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, make sure to like.